Here's a fact that's hard to hear. 90% of whole apples in school lunch programs get thrown away, maybe with one bite out of them. Rose Dunn joins us now with the story of a man who's working to change that. Rose?
As moms, we've seen it happen time and again. Kids get distracted, the apple gets brown, and they don't want it, it goes into the garbage. But Neal Carter says as an apple grower, he hates that and is working to change it by developing apples that don't get brown.
We wanted apples to become more convenient and participate in the fresh cut business, but they went brown.
Neal Carter grows apples for a living in Western Canada and Washington State. And as far back as the 90s, he watched other produce like baby carrots and bagged salads take off with consumers.
Overall consumer consumption of apples was declining, so they weren't, competing with other snack foods and produce items. So if you're an apple grower, that's not good news.
The Carters knew a big part of the problem was the yuck factor, the browning of cut apples. So they found a scientist in Australia that was working on turning off the browning gene. A better option, they thought, than adding chemicals to prevent browning.
There are, sliced apples, of course, in the marketplace, and they're treated with an antioxidant, and they have a fair amount of off-flavoring because of that treatment. We think that that is a component of why they haven't really met mainstream success, and so our hope is to see, more apples in more places.
What he's developed are preservative-free apple slices that preserve their natural apple flavor.
You could cut it for your lunch the night before and have it in your lunch bag all day the next day, and it would not go brown. You could have it in your lunch bag all week and it wouldn't go brown.
And he hopes they become the apple of your eye.
Having, the apple and the sliced apples in your children's lunch and actually having them eat them instead of, that whole apple that I think very often gets thrown away.
Apples are picked in the fall and stored for use all year. The 20,000 pounds of Arctic apples that Okanagan Specialty Fruits picked last fall are being sold in 10-ounce pre-sliced packages. They're increasing the number of Arctic apple trees they have next year and also developing several other varieties of non-darkening apples, including the Arctic Granny, Golden, and Fuji.
Rose, why are they called Arctic apples?
Well, it has nothing to do with the growing climate. It's about the pure white image of the Arctic.
Very interesting. Thanks, Rose.